And let's see what it said. All right, we are recording. And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Decorating and Staging Academy, our last Tuesday seminar. And tonight we have Chelsea Curry with us as Vendor Spotlight for 2021. And she is our guest speaker tonight, and she's going to tell us everything we always wanted to know about rugs but was afraid to ask. So, Chelsea, I'm going to let you take it away. And we also have Dee Stevens on with us. And
hi, everybody.
Yeah, there's Dee. And we're just glad that you are with us. And so, Chelsea, take it away.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining. I'm happy to really be here and give you guys some good insight. So jumping right into it, let me move our pretty little faces over here so I can see my slides. So a little bit of background to Surya. I'll start off by a little bit about me too as well. I've been with Surya for close to about 2 years now. And I've started off as a sales associate, opening new accounts with us. And now about a year ago, I got a little bit of an upgrade to do some re-engagement specialist. So I deal with kind of keeping people up to date and active. So this is right in my realm of things. Surya started off in 1976 from Surya Tiwari. He actually had an encounter with someone who formerly worked with Macy's back in the day, and immediately kind of started off as a small supplier of hand knot rugs over in India. Realizing really quickly that he wanted direct contact with the customers, Surya established a division over in the US 10 years after. And then 2006, he appointed his son Satya as president. And still currently, Satya is very, very active with the company. He is, when we were in office, very hands-on. He was there 8 to 5, just as the rest of us. So he was very, hands-on, up to date with everything, very active. And you would just see him in the hall, very friendly. So I'm really happy to be a part of such a good and welcoming company. He's always there to help as well. And so we started off as rugs, as I was saying, but we really have expanded over into quite a few categories now with lighting, pillows, throws, poofs, bedding, furniture, more like accent furniture, nothing large, like no couches or bedding or pieces per se. But we do wall decor and decorative accents. So we're trying to kind of mold into a one-stop shop vendor for a lot of other companies and kind of condense useless, expenses where we don't have to. So that's what we're really honing in on these days.
Yeah, you've really expanded a lot over the past couple of years.
We really have, yeah. And a lot of people that I work with don't even know because they've had an account with us for so long, but they don't even know that we've really expanded past the rug. So
yeah.
A lot of
That's
great stuff. Mm-hmm. And we keep expanding too, so it's really exciting. I love seeing all the new stuff all the time.
I bought my favorite lamp at Surya. I love that lamp.
I know it. I see stuff all the time, especially when we go to market, and I'm like, oh, I need to get that. Oh, I love that. So we have new stuff all the time. So a little bit jumping into rugs, since it is really our, main focus and the heart of the company. We really filter down based on the construction of the rug, collections from, across hand knotted down to machine woven rugs, the materials of the rug, styles, one of a kinds, outdoor safe rugs, custom options. Those have been really, really popular as of late. And of course, samples. Everyone needs samples. Okay. I keep having to move our faces, ladies.
Okay, but sorry. What are the most common sizes of rugs?
I would say between a 5x7 and an 8x10 are the most common.
Oh, I
Okay.
have a question for you, Chelsea.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did they go away from a 5x8 down to a 5x7? All rug manufacturers have started doing that. And it's like, man, I was really in love with my 5x8s. They dropped
Yeah,
them down.
I've noticed it, and I don't necessarily know why. I've noticed they've changed it to a 6x8 and a 6x9. It kind of varies between those two sizes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of kind of like outdoor spaces or under table spaces measure out closer to the 5x7. So I think that comes into play, just adding that newer, larger size and then honing down by a foot on the lower end.
Okay.
So to kind of go over the constructions of the rug, before I worked at Surya, I had no idea there were so many constructions and things to know about a rug, but there's so many different, delicate pieces to the rug. First, you have your hand knot. So that's your top quality, highest end. It's going to last the longest. Really a good investment piece. And I just wanted to touch on kind of when to use these pieces. It's really useful for higher end projects, something that's going to be luxury and offer functionality at the same time, something you really want to invest in and, offer that high quality product to your customer.
Mm-hmm.
For high-end living rooms, dens, master bedrooms, the formal living rooms, things like that. And then you have your hand tufted. This is the most common, highest selling rug that we have to offer. And it's that yarn that's punched through the canvas. So you've probably seen the backing that kind of has like a square around the backing of the rug that's hand
Right.
tufted. And so majority of these are made from wool or wool blends. They are expected to shed. It's going to be wool most of the time. And so a lot of people use this for a mid-price range project. It holds up very well without spending, top dollar on something, and it's going to provide that durability at the same time for you. The hand loomed. It's going to be kind of like you can see the individual looms on those rugs. Hand woven, your flat weaves, very thin. Those are pretty trendy right now. With the little like tassels, the fringe on the ends, those are so in right now. And then you have your hand woven shags and your textured rugs. So more so like the felted wool textured rugs, maybe a little bit of braided rugs. And your handcrafted. Those will be your hair on hides, cowhide rugs, a lot of use as of late in like offices, informal dining rooms, somewhere that's not as commonly used as a kitchen, but still kind of under a table. I see it all day long. And we do offer handcrafted hair on hides as well that are kind of designed moderately, and then they're kind of stitched together to make a full, like a rectangular cow rug without it being an actual cutout. And then we go into the machine made. Those are your easiest to clean, most durable. Definitely want to use those for anything with pets, children, playrooms, high traffic areas. If you want to just stage something really pretty and you don't necessarily have the budget for it, it'll look great and hold up well without spending, all of your budget in one place. And then there's outdoor machine made rugs as well. Great options for your mud room, pool room, the basement common areas, if it's coming in from outside, a lot of traction areas, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was wanting to ask you was the, kids, dogs, high traffic areas. So you
Absolutely.
kind of recommend a machine made rug if it's going to be for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Hand tufted it'll hold up, but if it's a, little puppy or a misbehaved pet, I guess you could say, definitely would recommend a machine made.
Okay.
Excellent. Now, if you were to layer some rugs on top of each other, which ones would you suggest would be good for each other?
A lot of people are using the like the flat weaved kind of natural fiber, so like the jute rugs, using that as the base, and then
Okay.
putting either a hand knot, a hand tufted over that. I don't see too much layering with machine made. Not saying you can't do it, but I don't see it very often. And another really cute option I've seen is the textured rugs. So kind of like that cabiny feel, the felted wool rugs, the like chunky knits,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
those under like a hand tuft traditional rug too. And that's really, really, really pretty.
Yeah, I bet that does look very nice.
Yeah,
Excellent. Thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah, layering is really popular too. To go over a little bit of the material. Sorry, still moving you guys.
Yeah.
Basis.
Yes.
So starting with your hair on hides, the sheepskin, cow rugs, moisture resistant and biodegradable. And so these are still good options if it's going to be somewhere, like if you do put it in the kitchen or under a table, easily you can shake them out. You don't have to, you know, deep clean them by any means. And they're going to, that moisture resistant, if you spill something on it, you could easily blot it up and it'd be good to go. Jute and the seagrass, natural fibers, the sisal is very sustainable, very, very durable and affordable at the same time. So it's bringing kind of like a design and functionality into one. Your colors will vary based on the time of year when the fibers are harvested. So I've seen this as of late. If you pick up, you know, a jute rug and you're like, oh, this ended up working out really well, I want to get another one, and you get it and it's not necessarily the same color, that is completely normal. A lot of people don't, you know. You don't know what you don't know, so that's okay, but it does happen. And these may shed. It's not really as bad as wool per se, but depending on kind of the pile and the construction of how it's made, it'll probably shed. Your polypropylene, polyester, and nylon are all your synthetic man-made materials. Lots of this in your machine mades, so that's what makes it highly durable, moisture resistant, fade resistant, stain resistant. So something spills, you're just gonna blot it up, whatever residue is left. Then I would recommend using like a water and maybe dish soap, and then just work from outside in so it doesn't, you know, spread throughout the rug, but comes up super easy. Minimal to no shedding or color variation. And so when they process this, it's coming from, you know, a computer. And so there's really little variation if you want it in a rug, a runner, a circle rug to match. If you're, you know, not wanting any specific differences, that's a good option.
Mm-hmm.
Viscose and tinsel. Everybody is talking about viscose these days. Either you love it or you hate it.
I love it. It just feels so good.
I love
it
it too. I
too.
really do. And it's so pretty.
It is.
So yeah, it imitates the look and the texture of a silk at a lower price. Still's gonna have that silky feeling, the silky shine, everything like that. But it is gonna shed, and it's not recommended for high traffic areas. So definitely wouldn't put this in, you know, a household with kids, by the front door, back door, or anything like that.
Good tip.
And so we have our wools, and wool is very sustainable, biodegradable, highly durable, and resilient with natural oil. So it has a you know, specific softness to it. Definitely different wools have a different texture, I will say, but it does have a very unique feel to it. Dyes will fade with exposure to sunlight. So a good example of that is if you put a rug in your bathroom and the light from the window is just directly shining on the floor. You're going to see some fading with time if it's just left in the sun. All wool will shed for its lifetime. That's natural. It'll just decrease depending on, the traffic of the rug, the construction of the rug, things like that, and the quality of the wool that it was used.
Mm-hmm.
And vacuuming can help decrease that shedding as well. But you have New Zealand wool, that's your highest quality form of wool. It'll still have the same characteristics, just a little bit more soft, a little bit more shine to it, and less shedding because it's used with hand knots. And so a hand knot New Zealand wool is going to shed a lot less than a wool hand tufted rug. And then your felted wool is the same wool. Sheep fleece is kind of, mixed together, intertwined with high temperatured water. And so it uses that to mat together. And then they typically use those in those textured rugs I was describing, like a braided rug, the cabin feel, mesh rugs.
Right. Excellent.
Right. And rug care and cleaning, I will say it's always going to on these two manufacturers, the construction and the material of the rug. We do have on our website a full rug care and cleaning guide. A lot of the times you can download it directly from the website. A lot of times people just immediately send that to their clients as well when they purchase from us. So they'll have it, up front and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But based on the construction, your hand knot rugs, use extra caution and care just because of the high value of the rug. It's going to be much more delicate than, a machine made. I mean, they physically go in and hand knot the rug. So we always recommend if you can remove a beater bar from your vacuum, because you're going to vacuum your rug. If you can remove the beater bar, we recommend that. If you can change it to a low setting, that's recommended as well. For your flat weaves, I do see often people vacuum, both sides of the rug. So it's going to be beneficial if you vacuum the top of the rug and get it out from underneath all the grime under the rug as well, because it's going to kind of wear it, cause buildup underneath the rug as well. So the flat weave's pretty easy and basic to take care of that when you can vacuum really however you'd like, as long as it's not loomed. That could result in some sprouting, and you've probably all seen that as well. It just sprouts out, from the rug. That's totally normal. You just snip it off. You don't want to pull the fibers or anything like that, or it'll just keep pulling. With your shag and your textures, use caution here as well when vacuuming. You can shake the rug out. I know some of these get pretty heavy, and so shaking it out may not be ideal, but you could kind of, sweep it off and then vacuum the excess that way. I've seen a lot of people do that. And even with the shag too, because it gets kind of matted, I think sweeping it kind of breaks it back up, gives it a fresh look. So I've seen that turn out really well. The special care for your materials. Wool and New Zealand wool, you can use dish soap, mix it with cold water, help remove stains. I always do recommend getting the stain out first before you do any kind of liquid. Just kind of blot it, never rub it in. And if needed, you can go directly to getting the water and the soap. And always go outside in so you don't spread it out.
Really? So when if it's all wet on the outside, then when you work yourself in, it won't bleed all the way till the edges?
Yeah, so if you're working it outside in, I'm trying to think of how to put that into an example. You're catching the spread before it spreads, if that makes sense. You're just
Okay. I
Yeah.
often wondered, everybody, says
Yeah.
that, but I just was like, but why wouldn't it bleed to the edges of the dry, you know?
Right. Yeah, it'll want to, definitely. And always, 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 the quicker you know, tend to the spill, the easier it's going to come out. Never just let something sit.
Okay,
Great
tip.
Yes.
Never let it sit.
Well, I have a
So,
question for you,
like-
Chelsea. When you get the rug, sometimes it's got powder. It's got powder on the bottom. It feels like it had been rolled in baby powder or something. It's dusty or something on the bottom. Is that something they do when they are packaging it for a reason or something? Or is it just me?
I don't necessarily know I have personally never heard that we put anything on it when we're packing it up and rolling it up.
Anybody else out there? Hello? Anybody? Am I by myself? Talk to me. Anybody else have that? Put it in your questions and answers. If that's you ever see that or hear of that. Okay. No, Monica, just you. Just kidding. Okay, continue, my dear.
Sorry.
I'll have to check in on that and I'll try and keep you updated on that one.
Thank you.
That's great.
So on the wool, New Zealand wool, you can use the soap water. And I previously mentioned you can vacuum to kind of, de-escalate the shedding of those wool rugs. I wouldn't say take the beater bar off, but use like a low setting on that one. For the polypropylene, all of these polyester, acrylic, the nylon, just use the dish soap water and it'll come right out. I've even used a chemical on the machine maids and it'll come right out. Just make sure you read the label of the cleaner. And if it says don't use on these specific materials, don't use it obviously, but it'll withstand a chemical cleaner and it'll come right out.
Okay.
If needed, use that as your last resort. Jute, your natural fibers, seagrass, sisal, regular vacuuming, spot cleaning, no specific needs on those. Your viscose and your tinsel, no liquids, no water, no anything to clean those up. And I would just, as a safety blanket, if you do need to clean it, if a mistake, does happen, I would contact a professional cleaning service that's locally in the area and let them handle the cleaning on that, because if you put water on a hand knot viscose rug, it could be just permanently damaged from there.
Really?
Yeah, because the liquids break down the fibers of the viscose and it turns it like it discolors it, so it can turn like a greenish, a dark brownish color, like a reddish maroon color. But I have seen it kind of depends on the construction of the rug as well. I know I keep saying that, but it really does. So like I said, a hand knot viscose is going to be different than your viscose in a machine made rug, just because of how they make it. We tested it at one of our High Point markets actually. The machine made viscose rug was very, very durable on the ground the entire time. So high traffic. Still looked great. It did have shedding, and there was wine spilled on it and it came right out, and they could clean it. They used the dish soap and the water, and it didn't damage that in the machine made rug. But to each his own, I guess, on that, because a hand knot isn't going to have the same effect. So
right. Okay, good tip.
Professional insight would be useful. Yeah. Any questions on that one?
I don't see any on mine.
I think we're good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so to touch on some rug pad options, we offer actually 8 rug pads. We just launched another felted option. So we have 3 felted pads. They vary in the thickness in the felted grip. And then we have 4 grip pads. That's these like the Rubbermaid. I personally don't ever recommend those because it can leave the residue on your rug. It can leave residue on your floor. And the felted options are just so much better. It has the felted recycled materials on top, and then it has that rubber backing on the bottom without leaving the residue. And so just a much better option. And then we do have an outdoor pad as well. And I do think it's necessary to use a pad. It'll extend the life of your rug. It'll help secure it in place. I know a lot of people sometimes with the like a hand loomed rug that's a little bit thicker, it'll kind of have ripples sometimes. And
Right.
if you had a rug pad underneath it, that would totally prevent that from happening. So it'll add some extra comfort and cushion. So if you wanted a tufted rug, didn't have the budget for it, had to go down to a machine-made rug, add a rug pad under it, and it's going to give you that extra little thickness that you're looking for, especially with the felted pads. I wish I had we do have a rug pad book. I don't have one on me, but it's a little sample pamphlet. And when you open an account, your welcome package comes with one, comes with a catalog. And so those are really useful in really any situation. If you bring up a rug pad, you can see them right there. Has kind of a dual purpose. It's going to protect your rug. It's going to protect your floor. And then just make sure you're sizing your rug pad appropriately, depending on your preference. I know some people do like it to actually square up with the measurements of the rug. And some people do like to size it down by an inch or 2 so you don't have that kind of overlay or trip over it, because it can be pretty thick sometimes depending on the rug pile itself.
Right.
So those are, you can easily trim those at home. I know people that prefer to do it that way, or we can cut those in-house for a little small extra charge.
And the felt type is better, you said, than the weaved kind, the woven kind?
Yes, absolutely. So those, if you can see, these would be the felted options.
Mm-hmm.
And so they still have a grip pad underneath, so it's still going to have the grip to the floor.
So it just adds a little more cush on your foot then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
And
I
what
really,
thicknesses are those?
they vary by, none of them are thicker than even an inch. But I know the pad F, that's our middle size. It's 0.7 inches, I want to say. They're listed online, so if I am wrong, I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's great.
The pad F is, I think, like 0.2, 0.1. It's pretty thin. It's the thinnest option. And then that brand new felted pad we just added is SF, and that's going to be the thickest. I want to say probably, I don't know, 0.8, 0.85. I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll look in a moment. And then, as always, if you do order your rug and your rug pad, just put a little mark in your order, and we can roll the rug pad and the rug together for $5. And then whenever you ship it, you get it, you just unroll it, and they're already together, and it's good to go.
Oh, that's nice. That saves a lot of headache.
Yes, it does. Okay. And so everyone who opens an account with us, they start off with 10 free samples. We've kind of changed the sample program over the years. So the free you get, they're yours to keep. You don't have to ship them back. You will have to pay for the shipping to you. So that's why we don't require you to ship them back to us. And then if you pass your allotment, samples are still available. You can purchase those for $25, and those are when you can return them. And this number here you see, this is your annually spending amount. And so if you're a very active, account ordering with us a lot, you're going to get rewarded for that, and you'll have more samples. And what people often kind of overlook is this restocking fee percentage. So the higher tier you make, the lower your restocking fee is going to be as well.
Okay.
Any questions there?
So you're saying that if I buy anywhere from $1 to $3,000, I'm going to get 10 free rug samples that are mine. But let's say I call and I need a sample of a rug that a client wants. I'm going to pay $25 for that sample, but you'll take it back. Is that what you're saying? The $25 sample, or it's mine to keep at $25, or how do we work that?
So when you can send it directly to your customer anyways, just you have that allotment, and you can use that allotment however you'd like. It's only $25, and after you pass, if you order all 10 within, and this is a year's time span, so it refreshes every year. And so if you use all 10 within the year and then your customer ends up wanting it and you need more, that is when you can order it for $25 and then send it back to us, and you'll get that credit back.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Get my credit back. Okay, good. Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, and just to dive into a few of our other categories, we'll touch on Surya Spaces. This is from our website, and just people posting their own models and staging products. It's really cool. But this just shows a good mix of some of what we have to offer. Okay. We can look at these on the website if we have any, specific requests, but just to breeze through them. For the lighting, we do have table lamps, floor lamps, ceiling lighting, so from chandeliers to pendant lighting, and wall sconces. I would say this is probably our second most popular category, on the up and coming, a lot of lighting orders happening. And our pillows, we have accent pillows, floor pillows, made to order. So that was a lot of seasonal and options there for made to order. And you can also purchase inserts by themselves or with the pillows, and we have poly and down. I did bring some pillows up here with me just to show. This is an outdoor option.
Like that.
Yes.
Does that come in all different colors as well?
Yes, it does have, I believe, 4 other colors.
Love it.
Sizes as well. It has good sizes. A lot of velvet is trending. I know velvet is everywhere, so a really pretty blue. This comes in several colors. I have orange, I have the blue, I have gray. There's green, blue. There's so many colors in the velvet. And then just one is kind of like a texture.
Oh yeah, I like that.
A little pillow.
Chelsea, we have a question. Do you sell to Canada and ship?
We do, but you would need to open an international account.
Okay.
You couldn't do a, US account and then just ship to Canada. You would have to open it internationally.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then we do bedding. All of our bedding is machine washable. It's very nice. Quilts, duvets, you can do the inserts for the duvets, bed skirts, and throws. Accent furniture, poofs, those are really popular as well. Lots and lots of poofs. We have that match rugs. So those are, and pillows even now. Really good options, cute kind of coordinating options for different rooms within one space. Ottomans, nesting tables, the sidebar tables. Just launched some really nice new coffee tables and stools and benches. Mirrors, wall hanging, art, table decor, baskets, trays, like the nesting trays, they come as a set typically. And then we have a lot of outdoor accent pieces too and outdoor sets.
Wow, you have expanded a lot.
We really have. I'm excited because we just keep adding more and it's just so fun to watch. Even within my 2 years of being here, like we didn't even do all of this accent furniture. Very recently started doing the nesting tables, the coffee tables and stuff like that. So it's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Okay. And so even outdoor, we have the lighting here. All of this is Surya outdoor. The
Now,
rug clothes.
excuse me, when you say outdoors, you mean I can leave it out there, or how, what is your criteria for outdoor?
Yes, you can leave it out there. You don't want to, for the rugs, I wouldn't say just leave it. And I can attest to this in my backyard. I have a slab that's not fully in the sun. And so when I leave my rug out and it has rained for a couple of days, I do like to move it out, let it kind of dry out in the sun. So I wouldn't leave it, depending on your space, just, you know, kind of wet and damp all the time. That will result in mold, as anything would.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of the pillows, the rugs are kind of like fade resistant in that aspect, so you can leave them out. The
And the
lighting,
lighting as well?
you know, the lighting piece itself, I would say, yeah, you can leave it out. I wouldn't leave it just openly in the rain. I wouldn't leave anything out in the rain.
Okay, that's what I was kind of wondering, if it, you know, if it's enclosed or covered over somewhat, if it's good to at least leave it out under those conditions.
We have one more question. Jenny wants to know, where is your warehouse located and how far do you deliver?
We will deliver everywhere, to my knowledge, and just within the US, everywhere. We drop ship everywhere. Our main warehouse is in White, Georgia, so that's a little bit 30 minutes north of Atlanta. And we actually just expanded to open a warehouse in Fresno, California. So that's really popular, and we don't hold as much inventory there as our main facility, but if we do have the items in stock and you're over on the West Coast, it'll most certainly come from that warehouse rather than ours. So we're working on kind of coordinating the inventory there versus having it here.
That's great.
Yes,
Nice to have something on both coasts, you know?
absolutely. Yeah, and it'll save so much on shipping costs as well. I know shipping can be outrageous these days.
Absolutely.
Okay, you guys, if you've got questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. And, you know, we can, you know, pick her brain while she's here, but continue on until another question jumps up here.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all just let me know.
I will.
All right. So to touch on a few things that are trending right now, we do have the Pantones. I wanted to show you guys that on the website. I'll kind of speed it up a little bit. But the Pantones of the year is this ultimate gray and this illuminating yellow. And so we do have these TPX codes right here. We have them listed if you went to the website and wanted to search for something, a specific Pantone. We do provide Pantone books at an additional cost, but you can buy those as well. So depending on your specific need to the Pantones, we can do a search that way, and it's very, very useful. This boho global, kind of like a boho modern vibe is what I've been seeing as of late, and kind of mixed in with traditional. These screen printed rugs, washable rugs, those are really hot right now. A lot of these screen printed rugs kind of have like a rubber type of backing on it, and it's very, I don't know how to describe it, very flimsy, very workable, and so you can throw it in the wash, hang it out to dry, and it'll be good to go. And lastly, I've seen a lot of these gold finishes on things, more of like a vintagey gold, like a brass per se. Very, very popular with the lighting. Lots of table now, you know, the legs have gold and all that. Any questions from that?
Yeah, hang on one second. I think we do. All right. What is your minimum order? And is there an option to order less than the minimum? And if yes, what is that fee? And will you ship to multiple addresses if several projects have been grouped on a single purchase order? Okay, let's take it from the top. What's your minimum order?
Okay. So we actually do not have a minimum opening order. When you open an account with us, you would really just, you have the benefits of the free samples, you would have access to your pricing, but as a designer, you have the option to get to a better price level. So it's going to be about a 10 to 15% difference than the no minimum price level and your designer price level. That minimum is $1,000.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, if that makes sense. Diana. Okay, the other thing is, I think what Diana's thinking of, I'm not sure, Diana, correct me if I'm wrong, but if, let's say, you had several projects or you came together with several other decorators and stagers and y'all placed a single purchase order, will you ship to multiple addresses, or that purchase order will go to one? In other words, you wouldn't drop ship to one and drop ship to another, or?
So not on one order. I feel like that would be
Is that what you were asking, Diana? Not sure.
You could break the order up amongst different addresses, but you couldn't put one or multiple addresses on one order. It would just have to be split up.
Okay.
Per address, I guess.
Okay, we have another question. I have heard that the washable rugs will curl on the edges after a few washings. Any reports of that?
I have not heard that lately. To me, off the bat, that sounds like they were drying them as well. I feel like if you're hanging it out to dry, it wouldn't do that. And if that is the case, I would try reverse rolling in the opposite direction of the curls. Let it kind of sit for a few days if you have time to do that. And that should take any, you know, curl out. A machine made rug will sometimes with time kind of curl up on the ends. So either putting heavy object.
Because they don't recommend you put these in the dryer, correct?
No.
Okay, so maybe that if they decided they'd put that in the dryer,
yeah,
that might do it. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Elizabeth. Okay, continue on.
Okay.
Got our questions there.
All right. And so to touch on Surya Spaces, I'll show you guys this in just a second on the website. But it's really fun. If you have a project you'd like to submit and be featured, you can go on your Instagram, tag us at Surya Social and use the hashtag Surya Spaces. And you can, you'll be kind of featured in in our website, and I'll show you that in just a second. And then it kind of goes hand in hand. So we get exposure from what you're posting on your designs, and you're going to get exposure on our website. So for example, this one has our rug, and on the website, we'll just hover over the rug and it'll take you directly to it. So it's really nice, really convenient.
Yeah.
And to jump on a little bit of website training, I will promise to make it quick so we can ask questions. But you can filter lots and lots of searches. It's really convenient based on, you know, your construction of the rug, style of what you're looking for, whether it's in stock, if it has a round rug available, and so on. So it's really, really nice. The Pantone colors I was mentioning, you can, if you're looking for something that's popular and doing well, you can search top sellers. You can search by new, and that'll break down based on the category you're looking for. Clearance. Clearance often gets overlooked, but there is great product in clearance because we're dropping things so often and adding new things. We have to obviously add it to clearance. You know, some things that are a little bit older, or we ended up maybe making too much product of. So you can do some good savings there. And the more you spend on clearance, the more you're going to save. And once you get it, it's gone. It's discontinued when it's listed as clearance. And so that's usually a really hot question that we get. And then the Surya Spaces Gallery. So we will do that real swiftly. Maybe, okay, there we go. Okay, so when you come to the website, this will be as it'll look for everybody else. If you're logged in, it'll say welcome and your name. But this is the Surya Spaces Gallery. We can go here. And this has just been a really, really cool tool. I know social media is just blowing up every day. So these are posts that designers have made, probably even some stagers, retailers maybe, that tagged us. And say you click here, shop now, and whatever is ours, hover right over it, and it'll take us to that rug. So it's really, really nice, really convenient. If it has, trying to find one.
Give me the price point?
Yes, so when you're logged in and have your account with us, you'll see your pricing. For me, it's going to show, you know, MSRP, your selling price and suggested price, but you scroll down, very easy to read inventory chart. So we have 8 of these coming in. When are they coming, you ask? Just hover here and it'll show you our estimated time of arrival. So it's really, really easy to use. We have a 93% inventory, you know, stock rate. And so we have really, really good inventory. That's probably the biggest compliment I heard throughout, you know, COVID. A lot of stocking issues and things like that. And so we really do a good job of keeping inventory on hand. But just to quickly show you in the description of the product info is that Pantone I was referencing. So the colors here are going to be listed, the Pantones in that order. So this is khaki, that's the cream, that's the medium gray, and so on. So I think that is so useful. Say you want to find this medium gray. Oh, I like that color. Copy it, search, and this will pull everything with medium gray, that specific gray.
Wow, that's really intuitive there.
Yes, very, very useful. I feel like we need to have like a video on the website about that. But yes, so much good knowledge.
It does, you know, help your clients not to feel like, oh, well, what if I get it here and it's the wrong gray?
Absolutely.
You know? that takes care of that wonderfully. Yeah.
Because sometimes I know it happens that samples aren't available and they get really bummed out. And this is my first, next suggestion afterwards is to look up that Pantone. Even if you don't have a Pantone book on hand, I even just Google, the Pantone that I was just looking at, and it'll bring you that shade. So
Mhm.
really easy option to use that. And, a lot of useful things. The care and cleaning guide is here. We have a lighting guide. All of the luxury catalog, e-catalog, the regular catalog, it's all available online. I mean, you name it. If you want to make your own hang tags, if you want insight on some videos. Speaking of videos, if you click on a rug, I always, always, always recommend, of course, the one I click on doesn't have a video, but down here, when you're looking at pictures, it'll usually have a video, and I would say that's the truest representation of the rug compared to the pictures. So
Okay.
if you're kind of teetering, look for the video, and that's usually very accurate.
Wow. This is very intuitive, down to a video of it all, each product.
Yes, ma'am. It's so once you get used to it, it's very easy to use, but I know we have over 60,000 SKUs, so it can be overbearing if you don't know exactly what you're looking for.
For sure.
Yes, ma'am. And so that's really about it on the website. I mean, it's self-explanatory by the categories. This is your top seller, your new, your clearance, things like that. So yeah.
Excellent.
And just want to thank everybody for their time. And
Are there any other questions, anybody? I'm going to check.
Yeah.
And see. I mean, this was so informative, wasn't it, Dee?
Absolutely.
Oh.
I am very well impressed, that's for sure.
Well,
And, I am definitely going to go in and play with that new catalog.
I know. It's so intuitive. I'm going to check out those videos, that's for sure. Oh my goodness.
Well, Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We so appreciate you coming and talking with us, right, Dee?
Absolutely. I appreciate everything that you've done this evening for us, and I would like to thank you very much and everybody out there for participating tonight. And I guess if they have any questions, should they contact you or
yeah.
how? Okay, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am. And so if it's for the guests that do have accounts with us, if you're logged into the website, you can see your reps' actual contact information. If you don't have an account with us, definitely you can reach out to me. Is there anywhere I can drop, my email address?
Yes, you can. You can. We have your email, and what we'll do is we'll make sure that everyone that was on the call tonight gets your email. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Okay, good night, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Yep, have a great time.
Thanks again, Chelsea. Bye.
Welcome.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.